Hello everybody, Planes here. Now before I go too deep into this video, I want to give a shout out to my patrons over there on Patreon. Thank you to everybody who's supporting the channel over on Patreon. It really means a lot to help build these planes, and it's one of the reasons why I can build these planes. So thank you to everybody over on Patreon. So I know you guys are probably a little bit confused right now as to what's going on because I announced the 747 and I also announced I'm working on a B-17 eventually. So introducing a 707 into the mix is kind of like, wait, what? So, yeah, I'm going to talk about this now. I've actually been planning on doing a 707 for a very long time, for years actually, years and years, ever since I originally built the 747, because I wanted to be able to pose them next to each other just to show the evolution of the jet, right? So, yeah, and unfortunately this plane has kept getting put on the back burner, It's just never been completed because I keep moving on to other projects. So I'm just finally biting the bullet and doing it. Now, I'm going to do this one before the 747 because I know that once I start that 747, the refurbish process or the rebuilding process, it's going to take many months, and this thing is going to get delayed even more. So I just want to build it now because I feel like I've been able to solve a lot of its problems since it has pretty much the same nose as the 737 and same fuselage as the 737. So that should help expedite the process just a little bit. But I wanted to get this plane done. Now it's going to be pretty good looking. Hopefully the engines will all be in metallic silver, and I still need a lug bulk order to be able to finish it. So hopefully that'll arrive here soon. But I wanted to talk about what I've done so far here. What I've done is the wing box. Now, I get a lot of questions asking, how do you build the wings? And that's a very tough question to answer because each plane is built differently. So we'll take a bit of a journey here. The B-29 has a single stage wing box. So it means all it has to do is get the dihedral, which is a dihedral, sort of hard to explain, but it's when the wings angle upward. So you can kind of see the wings are angling upward a little bit. This one only has to worry about the dihedral since the wings are, as you can tell, parallel to the body. So it only has to worry about that. This plane has a two-stage wing where this thing right here, the center section, doesn't have a dihedral and it's parallel to the body, and then this right here is where all the angling happens. So this is sort of what a lot of passenger planes use as well. The 787 here has a dihedral and it's parallel. So right here, you can see this right here. It's kind of hard to show, but this right here, that's straight parallel to it's a right angle to the fuselage. And then right about here is where I start angling the wing back. So it's sort of hard to explain. And this plane, as you can obviously tell, has a dihedral, it aims upward. So yeah, that's that. And this one over here, it's the B-36, which I will have a video out shortly when those printed parts arrive, but it just has a straight wing. It really doesn't have a dihedral, and there's not much going on. And the 727 is basically just a cleaner version of the 737. So those are what we have so far. And I would say that this wing right here is going to be most like the 747, which means that it has to have two axes, actually three axes of directional angling. So not only does it have to have the correct angle for the leading edge of the wing right here, so it has to be at a little over a 45-degree angle right here, but it also has to be at a dihedral. So you can tell that these are angling up. As you can see slightly, they're angling up, kind of up. And all planes have dihedral. Well, most planes have dihedrals, so that's good. And the third axis, which is not as easy to see, is it's slightly canted forward, the wings. So you'll see it when the model's complete, but it's slightly canted forward. And the 747 had that too, where it just had one solid wing. There were no interruptions in here. And the whole thing was just connected at a wing box. So that's what this is. That's what I'm hopefully going for with this one, except at around right here between the two main flaps, right where the flaperon is, I'm pretty sure, I'm going to make it disconnect for transport, so it will come apart hopefully better than the 747. So that's hopefully what we're doing. And so yeah, this is pretty interesting. I've done a lot of geometry work here to see what pieces are best, and what I found is that when we take these things right here, this one, and put this on the trailing edge like so, right about that, yeah, you can see that it's pretty much parallel to the leading edge. So what that means is the ratio is a 2 down for every 4. So what I'll probably do here is have this just be straight curve slopes, because I want the leading edge to be clean, and then this one will step down every little bit. So it'll probably end up looking like I said over here, the 727, where see, this one steps down at every 6. Ours will step down at every 4, so it'll be a bit more expedited, but the leading edge will be curved slopes like this. So again, I'm brainstorming right now different ideas, and this is what the core looks like. So for those of you who are asking, can you do a tutorial on a wing box? The answer is no, because each plane is different and you have to understand the angles and everything. Now, this is the 707, so I guess if you wanted to copy it, then there you go. But it's actually fairly sturdy. You can see that it can hold quite a bit of weight. And again, on these planes, the landing gear is right here, I'm pretty sure, and here. So the landing gear will help to support these wings if it comes to that. That's kind of what it does on the 787. Since the plane weighs so much, the landing gear helps actually hold up the wings. Now, I don't usually like to do that because I'd like to be able to pick the plane up and, you know, swoosh it around. But if it comes to that, it will, and that will help support the wings. But yeah, this is what a wing box looks like. Will I be doing a ton of progress on this immediately? No, because I need to finish the B-36 and pack some other stuff up. But I do want to let you guys know that I do plan on doing a 707 right now. So the 707 is the next build. For those of you who are concerned or confused, the 707 is the next build, all right? Then followed by the 747. That one's after the 707. Then I will probably do a Concorde. So I want to get the last 2 of the really Boeing planes I want to do done. And then after that, I'm going to start focusing on possibly a Concorde, which I know is very popular on the channel and wants to get done. So a Concorde for sure. And then maybe like a A318, like a baby bus. I've always kind of liked the cute little Airbuses. Those are fun. So yeah, that's all I really have for this video. I do have a bit of a sneak peek over there on that shelf if you can catch it for one of the next videos. So yeah, that's all I really have for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye for now.